It's a beautiful morning. I think I'll go outside for a while and just smile. Just take
Hey everybody, hope you certainly are having a wonderful day. And I'm starting a new video series titled Why I Have a Problem With, and then you could just insert name or group. More than likely will be, other YouTubers, but not necessarily limited to. And this first one is going to be Milo Stewart. Now, I'm going to warn you, I am severely late to the party on this one, and that's because I just created my channel. And I'm going to let you know right now, I'm not going to beat the dead horse, because there's literally thousands of videos refuting and shredding all these points I'm about to bring up. But I am going to bring something different to the table. At least I haven't heard anybody mention these two things. But I mean, as far as like all the other points, I mean, they're pretty self-explanatory, about, all people are all white people are racist. All cisgendered people are transphobic, and all males hold misogynistic views. I'm not going to go into any of that, really. I kind of am, but differently. Something different angles on these that I haven't heard anybody speak on. Now, if they've been spoken upon, it hasn't been by the videos that I've seen. But let me go ahead and get to the meat and potatoes of this video. So, there's two main things that I want to bring to the table when it comes to Milo Stewart. Now, in case you don't know, Milo Stewart is a transgendered female to male. And out of respect, I will refer to him as him, because that is his preferred pronoun. And, just out of mutual respect. And mutual respect is actually going to be very, very crucial in what I'm going to bring up. But the first part doesn't, well, kind of does, but kind of doesn't. You'll see what I mean. So the first thing is, I'm sure you've seen the video. And if you haven't, all you have to do is look up Milo Stewart responses, and you'll see what I mean. So Milo Stewart did a video saying, that all white people are racist. Now, of course, that's a ridiculous statement for any human being who has the common sense to know that that's not true. All right. And I've already discussed, the two definitions of racism in my previous video. So you can check that out if you would like to see where I'm coming from when it comes to racism. But I'm not going to go over that again. But what I do want to bring up is, what I find very interesting is that Milo Stewart finds it offensive that he would be labeled a female based off of his genitalia, his reproductive organs. Which is fine. If you feel like that's reducing you to your reproductive organs, then fine. I can't tell you how to feel. But what I find interesting is that you have absolutely no qualms with being labeled a racist based off of your skin color. And what this all boils down to is that they're both physical attributes. You were born with a vagina, and that's just a fact. Now, you say you don't identify as female, and for those of you who don't know, he is currently on hormones. And apparently there's been some quote-unquote cisgendered people who have been asking about the bodily changes, and why you would care about that is weird, because I honestly don't give a damn. I mean, I'm not saying don't care about Milo Stewart's feelings, just saying it doesn't mean anything to me. And by the way, I'm not, in these videos, I'm not attacking the person, just their ideologies. Because I don't know Milo Stewart personally. But that's just a little side note. So back to the whole not wanting to be labeled a female, but is okay with being labeled a racist. See, here's the thing. There's really no negative connotations with being a female. There's negative connotations with being a feminist or a feminazi. But there's not any negative connotations in being a female in itself. However, there are extreme negative connotations with being a racist. Now, I personally would prefer not to be referred to as a female, because I am a male. That's just me. But if somebody told me, you have two choices. You could either be labeled as a female or labeled as a racist. 10 times out of 10, I would say, do I get to pick my name? Because I'm going to go with being a female, being labeled a female. I would much rather be labeled a female than be labeled a racist. Because when you're labeled a racist, you're also labeled, you get grouped with people such as Hitler. So Milo Stewart is perfectly fine with being associated with Hitler, but has a problem with being coupled with, women. I mean, women are great. I mean, simply put. So that's the first thing that I find to be quite interesting. The next thing is, and this, now we're getting down to the mutual respect, which means there's respect between both parties. So back to the whole being labeled as a female. So you say that you don't want to be labeled as a female based off of your genitalia. Fine. I can respect that. I don't understand it, but I can respect it. Then why would you feel it appropriate to label all white people? Because, I mean, even though you're white, doesn't give you the right to label other white people as racist. Or, I mean, I'm not white, so maybe it's unfair for me to bring up that point. But I am a cisgendered male. Why is it okay for you to label me a transphobic based off of my cisgenderedness? It's called mutual respect. I'm willing to call you by your pronouns. How about you don't label me as a transphobic? Because the fact of the matter is, somebody being trans doesn't bother me. I don't understand it, but I don't really need to. If a trans person was in a burning house, I would still go in and do my best to save them, because I'm a decent human being. And I would like to think that transgendered people would do the same. And if they were to do the same, the last thing on my mind would be, well, they're transgendered. No. I could care less about that. I care more about the content of your character. I mean, if you're saving me, I mean, that shows me a lot of character. So, the other thing I want to bring up is, and Milo actually removed this from his About This page, but at one time it said, I'm a transgender, all this stuff that I don't remember right now. But the one thing I do remember is that the end of the About This page actually said, and I don't care about your cisgendered feelings. This all comes back to mutual respect. So you're transgendered and you make a very big deal about being respected. And I'm assuming Milo removed that because he realized how hypocritical that is. Like I said, I'm not attacking Milo Stewart. I'm attacking the ideologies. So I'm hoping that ideology has changed, and I'm going to assume that it has, being that he removed it. So big respect to that. But for the transgendered people who do feel that way, well, that's pretty that's pretty douchey. I mean, simply put, that's pretty shitty. And when it comes to mutual respect, I mean, if you demand a certain level of respect, that's perfectly fine. But please understand that respect has to be given back. And if you deem that it's inappropriate for me to expect the same respect I'm giving you in return, well, then I must say, quite frankly, fuck you. And it has nothing to do with your gender or your gender identity. It has everything to do with your shitty character. And the last thing I want to bring up, so this is a free one because I said 2 points and I'm actually giving 3 because I just thought of this. The last thing is to the racism thing. I'm not going to talk about racism anymore because I think I made my point clear. But when it comes to racism, he did a video about racism, which was quite lazily done. Basically saying, because I'm white, I can't speak on the subject, but here are 2 people of color YouTubers that you can check out their video. The big problem that I have with that is, although it's consistent with what you say, and I mean, guess kudos to you on that, what it tells me is that you really don't have your own thoughts on the subject. I mean, you're really going to leave your opinion on racism to a clearly biased point of view? I mean, when it comes to racism, you're really not going to get a unbiased point of view. But if you're going to listen to one side, you got to listen to the other and any other sides that may be included. And then come to your own surmise, because just listening to one side is just insane. I mean, a black person, of course, is going to give you a specific point of view as opposed to a racist white person. I mean, they're both going to be extremely biased. Now, if you have a white person who has white guilt, then you're going to get another type of bias. So, I mean, coming from somebody who cares no shits about race, I can honestly tell you, I could give you my point of view, which I already have in my previous video. But, I mean, if you're going to completely base your opinion off of really somebody else's biased opinion, well then, I mean, that's pretty insane. So those are the 3 points that I have about Milo Stewart. Leave a like on the video if you like the video. Subscribe if you want more of this content. Hope you have a wonderful day. Peace.
I came in like a